we are excited about this recipe. We hear baseball is back. Baseball, now I know there's so much going on in the world that's just no fun. It's okay to think about some things coming back to normal, like baseball. It's enough to make a grown man cry.
No crying? There's no crying in baseball!
We are making some stadium food today that will make you cry. When you take a bite of what we're about to do, you may just weep openly. If that happens to me, we'll turn the cameras off. No one wants to see a grown man weep, even if it's for joy. Today is Jack and Coke chili dogs. So I am going to do the chili up here. Couple things to keep in mind. One, this is hot dog chili. This isn't a chili that ends up in a bowl, you know, with kidney beans or whatever you add, stewed tomatoes, mushrooms. This is for a hot dog. Also, we are doing a half batch of this, so if you want to follow along, you can follow this recipe as I talk. If you look in our description, we'll have a recipe for a full batch. It makes a lot of chili, which is why we're doing a half batch. So I'm going to get the induction top cranking here. Half a pound of beef. Small onion. Okay. Then seasonings. Half a tablespoon of garlic. Half tablespoon paprika. About 3/4 tablespoon chili powder. You can do a half if you want a little less chili taste. We like the chili. Half a tablespoon of Worcestershire. What's that? You tell me, is that half a tablespoon? That's all I got in the jar, so that. Yeah, that's now a half a tablespoon of Worcestershire. We have half a tablespoon of yellow mustard. That's probably a little more. Takes up the Worcestershire. 1/4 cup of ketchup. Gross. 1/4 cup of ketchup. Now, at this stage, you could use 4 ounces of tomato sauce, and that's totally fine. I like a little bit more concentrated tomato flavor, so we actually use tomato paste. So 4 ounces of tomato paste. If you're going to use tomato paste instead of tomato sauce, then you also need to add some liquid because that's way too thick as is. You can use water. So you can use 4 to 6 ounces of water. Start with 4 ounces, add it to your desired level of thickness on the chili. You can use 4 to 6 ounces of beef broth. You can use 4 to 6 ounces of whatever liquid you like. Since this is Jack and Coke, we're going to do it kind of equal parts. So we have 2 ounces of the Jack, and we'll let that cook off a little bit. It's already a pretty good aroma. Giving it a bit of a mix, get those ingredients cooking. And 2 ounces of Coke. Cayenne, we do a good half tablespoon of cayenne. You can omit as much as you like. And then I like a little bit of a herb on there. And again, depending on your like of oregano, I like to do a whole tablespoon of oregano. So now we're going to just cook this down, get it well incorporated. And this is probably going to need a little bit more Coke. That happens sometimes, depending on how thick it ends up being. And it's surprising how often that varies. I don't know, maybe it's the humidity, the altitude. We're not cooking at high altitudes here. So that needs a little bit more Coke. And again, if you don't want to do that, you could also add water again at this point. So about another 2 ounces of Coke. We'll see how that goes. And then we keep the ingredients out as we do this, because as this cooks down, we just taste it and we make our adjustments from there. So, you know, with cooking, recipes are a good place to start, but it's good to be tasting what you're making along the way to make the adjustments that you need. That's getting pretty good. All right, so I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit on that, let the flavors start to get happy. We'll test it again in a few minutes. So I'm taking that down to what would be a medium-low heat. Now, as we do that, I'm going to start up the stove here. Now, if we wanted to do this right, we'd be out on a grill. It's like 150 degrees out there. We're not going to do that today. So if you cook this on your cooktop, what we like to do is we like to cook these dogs. These are all beef dogs in butter. Fork the hot dogs, right? Give that butter a chance to get in there. Just an added step of love that you do for the people that you cook for. Butter is delicious. I'm told it's good for you. It's heart healthy. And I won't get into how butter has actually helped me lose a lot of weight, but that'll be another video at another time. So we end up forking all these. We'll be putting them in the stove here in just a sec. All right, so we finished forking. We have finished forking the hot dogs, demonetized. Oh, it's so hard to make money on YouTube. We're gonna head over to the stove and get these cooking up. So, with a pan nice and warm, we put in a generous amount of butter. There we go. And we lay in our dogs. Now we're going to let those cook and we'll head back over to the chili. So at this step here, the chili is looking good. But now the first step in the process is the first taste for any adjustments. And if I start crying here, I'm not even sure we'll get to the part with the dog in a bun. I'm so tempted right now to take a bowl and some sour cream, some cheddar cheese. Just forget those. But those are good beef dogs. We know that it will get better, so we persevere. A quitter would stop right here. This is where a quitter stops and says, that's so good, I'm done. But I love the people I serve food to. We persevere to get to the end. This is very good. Chili has been simmering for 10 to 12 minutes. It's going to be a sight and taste thing, but 10 to 12 minutes, you're in good shape. Nice and thick. Taste test along the way, adding whatever little pinches that you want for your own personal taste buds. So I'm going to pull the dogs off. We're going to build, and then the moment of truth. Yep, so the dogs have soaked up the butter nicely. So we will pull So much love is occurring right here. The All-American Classic Chili Dog. Our Jack and Coke Spin. Welcome back, baseball. Everybody be safe out there. Here we go. Now, let's build one of these bad boys. We've waited long enough. First thing, this might be a controversial move. Trust me, this is the tip of the day. You will love it. You can do mayo. I do sour cream on the chili dog. A food lube of some kind. Demonetized. You're making money on YouTube's hard. All right. Sour cream, if you like sour cream, is an absolute killer on this. Dog. Load that chili. How much chili is a personal thing. I like chili. Okay. Let's get that off. We like to gild it a bit with a few extra raw onions. And then I like cheddar cheese. I make another one with pepper jack for my camera crew. They prefer the pepper jack. All right, there we go. That is Jack and Coke chili cheese dog. I will make one more for the camera. You like sour cream or mayo?
Sour cream.
Sour cream. We have a whole crew of people sitting over there on the couch who are starving, waiting for this to be done. They smell it. If you had scratch and sniff, you would have stopped the video a long time ago and started making this yourself. Dog. Chili. Onion. And pepper jack. Good luck to Jacob doing this one-handed while holding the camera. All right. Here we go. This is what, happy 4th of July. We're filming this on the 4th. You won't see it on the 4th, but you'll see it soon after. Here we go. Jack and Coke. I probably should do fork and knife, but we're friends here, so if it gets messy, just look away. Oh, there's tears in my eyes. Look away. That's worth all 15 minutes wait. That is so good. The sour cream with the chili, and some people use that normally anyway. Very good balance. You get the back bite of the whiskey and the cayenne, and you get the sweetness of the ketchup and the Coke up front. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna take another bite. I'm gonna do it a little bit more civilized this time. We'll do fork and knife. And as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, you know how this goes. What does this remind me of? Nope. Not that. Yep, that's what it reminds me of. I'm drinking A&W. We actually were debating other substitutes for Coca-Cola. I think Dr. Pepper would work. I think A&W would work. Happy 4th. Happy Independence Day. Be safe out there. Thanks for hanging out. We're going to have some more vids very soon. Until the next one.